Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. No. We got some trouble from the Indiana Jones 5 set, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm disappointed, but let's talk about it. So first, I am a big Indiana Jones fan, a gigantic Indiana Jones fan. Harrison Ford's my favorite actor of all time. When I was in kindergarten years ago, I used to go to school in these dark blue pants that had this red stripe down the side, and I used to call them my Han Solo pants. I wore them far too often. It was great. So huge Harrison Ford fan. Like I said, my favorite actor of all time. Big Indiana Jones fan. My favorite Indiana Jones is Temple of Doom. The best Indiana Jones, though, is Raiders. I mean, that's one of the greatest films of all time. And my least favorite in the original trilogy is Last Crusade. I love Last Crusade. I really do. But for some reason, it's the one I watched the least. I don't know why. It's a great movie. It's just, I like the other, I don't know. I watched the other two more. And then, of course, there's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, excuse me. It had like one redeeming thing in it, I think. Anyway, but here we are, Indiana Jones 5, right? And huge fan, excited for it. I'm not one of these people that is getting online, getting on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube and complaining about that. Why did you see? They shouldn't be doing this. It's going to suck. You don't have this. Fuck that. And looking for any way they possibly can to blame Kathleen Kennedy for whatever terrible things or not even terrible things, issues that may arise from the set. And I can only imagine that somebody out there right now, somebody is creating a video right now looking to blame Kathleen Kennedy for Harrison Ford's shoulder injury. I think it's got to be out there. It has to exist. It's Kathleen Kennedy, man. You see, if they didn't do it and she would, and they have to jump through these mental gymnastics to try and figure out a way to blame Kathleen Kennedy for everything. But anyway, listen. I agree, okay? He's 78 years old. We really don't need this now. It's really past its due date, okay? I agree 100%. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't get a little excited seeing Harrison Ford in those behind-the-scenes photos, those paparazzi photos, in the hat and the jacket and the shirt and the whip. And I was like, it's kind of fucking cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm cautiously optimistic. I have the same concerns as everybody else, but I want it to succeed. I want this swan song for Indiana Jones, for Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, to be great. Now, I know what you're thinking. We got his swan song. Last Crusade, man. Yes, I agree. That is the quintessential swan song for Indiana Jones. But they're making another one, whether we like it or not. So, okay, all right, yeah, I got some, I don't know, oh, well, you know, he's old. But I'm pulling for it, man. My fingers are crossed. I'm pulling for it. Well, was it last week or the week before, news came out that Harrison Ford had injured his shoulder on set, and they did not know the extent of it, and that they were reconfiguring the schedule and all that kind of stuff. I can tell you that, look, when these things happen, 9 times out of 10, they know the extent of it, okay? But this is a big PR thing, and there's always a preliminary statement that is put out just to buy the studio and the production time while they figure out what the fuck to do, while they figure out more details. But I guarantee you they knew that this could be it was a bigger issue than they let on, right? And sure enough, now, what is it, a week later or whatever it was, today it was announced that, yes, it is much worse than they thought, and they're going to have to, shut the production down for a couple of months. We'll talk about it, or at least at the very least, hopefully, I'm hoping, try to shoot stuff that he's not in while he recovers, very much like what they did on the set of Temple of Doom. Sometimes people forget, even on Temple of Doom, 37 years ago, he injured his back and he had to fly back to I get it, he was 42, he was younger, but still, he injured his back, right? And they had to shoot around him there. Happened on The Force Awakens with the hydraulic door of the Millennium Falcon crashing on his ankle. They had to shoot around him there. So this isn't unprecedented Harrison Ford territory. Is it more worrisome because of his age? Because he just, continues to get older? Yes, of course. But it's not like we haven't been here before with Harrison Ford. He's very resilient. I get it. He's not 42. He's not 72. 22 or whatever he was when he did The Force Awakens. You know, he's a little bit older now, and I get it. You know, you got to think about those things. But Ford has proven to be quite resilient. So it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise, I doubt it. It depends on what the injury is and the extent of it, of course. But it wouldn't surprise me if by the middle of August he was back. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not saying that's going to happen. It just wouldn't surprise me. So anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's jump over to the Daily Mail. This comes from Daily Mail, dailymail.co.uk. So this is from the UK. This comes to us. Oh, Indiana Jones. Oh, I feel it, man. I feel it. Indiana Jones 5 is pushed back 3 months as a result of Harrison Ford, 78, suffering a shoulder injury on set amid claims he may need surgery. Yes, Harrison Ford, 78. He'll be 79 on July the 13th. Oh boy. Oh boy. So filming in the much anticipated 5th installment of the Indiana Jones franchise has been pushed back 3 months after lead star Harrison Ford suffered a shoulder injury on set. The 78-year-old actor, who stars as the titular daredevil archaeologist in the franchise, sustained the injury in a choreographed fight scene and will be now out of action while he recuperates. It is a fresh blow for the movie, which sees James Mangold taking on directing duties from longtime helmer Steven Spielberg after shooting was previously pushed back as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. Ooh, I mean, that's fucking cool, man. It's fucking cool. An insider told the Sun newspaper's Bazaar column, that's usually not a sentence you want to take seriously, but nonetheless, an insider told the Sun's newspaper Bazaar column it is Harrison's last outing as Indiana, and everyone thought it would be plain sailing. After the initial delays, everyone was raring to go, I should say. But now Harrison is injured, and it is worse than first thought. No, they knew it. The film's bosses have come together to work out the scheduling, and it's chaos. That's what they were doing. The earliest they think they can restart the production is September. So this makes it sound like they're shutting it down completely, like total shutdown. I mean, if it's possible, I would try to shoot the shit. Well, yeah, no, I understand that. Because then you'd have to go back to, no. They would be able to shoot around Indiana in scenes where they already are, or sets that have already been built, or maybe certain things like that they can come back to. But on location stuff, depending on where they're shooting on location, that might be really tricky. So there's a lot of variables at play. It was not what anyone was expecting. So to have to change everything is a huge blow. Everyone was concerned for Harrison, and they are glad he is on the mend. Harrison is known for doing his own stunts. That's not entirely true, by the way. I'll read this here, but I want to make a point. Harrison is known for doing his own stunts on set, and Spielberg confessed that he was an idiot for letting the star take on risky scenes such as the boulder run in Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, yes, Harrison Ford did do the boulder run in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He also ran out onto the bridge in Temple of Doom. Those are two instances where you would likely have preferred to have a stunt double for obvious reasons. That being said, even Harrison Ford has said, and I quote, "I don't do stunts, I do physical acting." So there's a difference. So Harrison Ford likes to, get into a tussle, or maybe like he's getting into a little kind of fight with somebody and he gets, thrown up against the wall or something like that. Or, he runs and maybe he'll jump over something. He likes doing that kind of stuff. And I totally understand that. I would like to do that too, right? The physical acting part of it. But real stunts, he does not do. So this is not entirely accurate to just make a blanket statement, say, Harrison is known for doing his own stunts on set. That's actually not true, because that would lead you to believe that he's like Tom Cruise, where he's just like fucking doing everything. No, he's not like that. So there's a little bit of an asterisk there that I want to put beside that. Nonetheless, what Spielberg says about Raiders is true. The legendary filmmaker said a double would have cheated his head down, so Harrison volunteered to do it himself. There were 5 shots of The Rock from 5 different angles, each one done twice, so Harrison had to race The Rock 10 times. He won 10 times and beat the odds. Never tell me the odds. He was lucky, and I was an idiot for letting him try it. Oh, boy. The Out previously reported that Ford had aggravated an old injury that's bad enough for him to require surgery to put it right. Well, maybe that's true. The source told The Sun he was filming an action scene on a train within Pinewood Studios in Buckinghamshire. I think that's how you say that. In Buckinghamshire, when he felt it go. So that's either like a pop or a tear or something. It's not known yet if he will fly back to the U.S. for surgery. Oh, it's known. It's known. You may not know that. We don't know that, but they know that already. That just hasn't been, I mean, they know that. Trust me, it's all up in the air and schedules are being rewritten. Reports suggest that the production for the film will continue around Harrison's recovery. So this is kind of, okay, so it will do that. Reports suggest that the production for the film will continue around Harrison's recovery, with the schedule being reconfigured when needed over the coming weeks. Okay. And if you can do that, if you can shoot as much as you can without Harrison, you got to do that. You have to do it. With the paper adding, the incident has thrown the film schedule into chaos. Aww. Yeah, he's still handsome, man. He's still handsome. Still a handsome dude. A Disney source told Deadline, in the course of rehearsing for a fight scene, Harrison Ford sustained an injury involving his shoulder. Yeah, this was the statement they put out last week. Production will continue, or the week before, I forget when it was. Production will continue while the appropriate course of treatment is evaluated, and the filming schedule will be configured as needed in the coming weeks. Yeah, so that was last week. Blah, blah, blah. They go on to talk more about it. And then, of course, they talk about Indy's injury on the set of The Force Awakens and blah, blah, blah. If you want to go over and read the rest of the article, again, that's dailymail.co.uk, and you can read the rest of the article there. But nonetheless, it sucks, man. It does suck, but, it is what it is. This is not unprecedented Harrison Ford territory. So the film's not going to be canceled. You're going to see videos online. They should just shut it down. This is one reason, or, another reason why they just shouldn't have done this. He's too old. He's getting injured. He's delicate. He's frail. He's feeble. Help me. Oh, Lord, help me. It's like, guys, no, it's just shit happens. Do you know how many injuries happen on set that you don't know about? Because they're either not high-profile films, they don't happen to high-profile actors, or it's just not worthy to let out. Like somebody just rolls their ankle, so they have to take the afternoon off, or somebody sustains like a cut, or, they walk into a piece of fucking, plywood on set and they get like a bit of a bump on their head, so they have to take, the day off or something. That shit happens all the time. All the time. There's a ton of shit that happens on the set. And then sometimes when it's a little more, high profile film, high profile actor. I mean, let's not forget, despite you young kids today may look at Harrison Ford as a nobody, he was and is one of the greatest movie stars. I'm not saying actors, but movie stars in the history of cinema, and he's still got that mystique about him, even though he's old now. So yeah, it makes sense why this would be out there and such a big thing. But, it happened on Temple of Doom. They finished Temple of Doom. It happened on Force Awakens. They finished The Force Awakens. It happened on Indiana Jones 5. They're going to finish Indiana Jones 5. They're going to finish the film. Get well, Harrison, my man. Get well. I wish I still had those Han Solo pants when I was in kindergarten with the red stripe down the side. I really do. Of course, they wouldn't fit now. I imagine that I'm trying to get into them. I'm doing it for Indy. I'm doing it to support Harrison. And I'm walking around like this, like it's really tight and like rips in my ass. And it's like, it's for Indy. It's for Indy. Get well, Harrison. I know you're going to be back. I'm pulling for this film. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm skeptical about a number of things too, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I want this to succeed. Come on. Come on. We all do. At least I hope we all do. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. Are you like me, where you're like, maybe I wish they weren't maybe doing this movie, but they are, and so I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm pulling for it. I'm pulling for it, man. I want this to be good. Or are you on the other side of the coin where you have a big board and you got this string with these push pins and you're trying to find your way back to Kathleen Kennedy somehow? I don't know. And, let me know your thoughts. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can at facebook.com/manythingsdavemcrae. All my links are in the description. Check them out until your heart's content. And when your heart is content, check them out again. All right, folks, I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.